What's good, family? So mash the like button, subscribe, and lick off the bell. Oh my god. Oh my. This is mad. Proper mad. So, Stephen A. Hairline has lashed out at Joe Rogan, at Joe the Toe Rogan. Now, historically, they've kind of had a bit of a beef, you see, because we all know Stephen A. Hairline is a bit of a fake sports commentator. He was the guy who always got picked last for every single sport, and I think there's something wrong about that. I think people who commentate on sport should be at the elite end, in my opinion. Do you know what I'm saying? Because otherwise, what you're talking about, I understand that you don't have to sit here and tell you every commentator needs to be an Olympic champion. That's not necessarily true, because that's the absolute pinnacle, or to be a Super Bowl winner. There's just not enough in the world to go around. But to be an elite sports person, that should be the minimum requirement. If you never was good at no sport, you need to sit down somewhere and find another role. Yeah, go and look at some books or something. But anyway, I'm giving you the background, because Joe Rogan, basically how it kicked off was Stephen A. Smith works for ESPN, or at some point worked for ESPN. Now we know that is the UFC platform. So Stephen A. Smith is a big name on ESPN. UFC are now with ESPN, so they had some sort of crossover. Oh, you know what? We'll put our biggest presenter, Stephen A., onto the UFC programming. Now, obviously, Joe Rogan is the big wig in terms of commentator over there. So he felt like, why is this goofy last pick? I mean, Stephen A. Smith was the last pick in basketball, never mind mixed martial arts and combat sports. Yeah, we've all seen the footage of Stephen A. Hairline. He can't box or fight a lick. He couldn't fight his way out of a wet paper bag. He's useless. Yeah, completely. Listen, if you think Stephen A. Hairline is bad at basketball, you want to see his squabble. He ain't got no squabbles. That's what we know for a fact. Honestly, if the world had no more people in it, Stephen A. Smith would be the last person you'd ever want in a fight. Or tell a lie, he'd be the best person to fight in a fight, but I'm talking about backing you. You wouldn't want Stephen A. Hairline. He ain't got no squabbles. Simple as that. So, like I was saying, there was this, basically, Joe the Toe Rogan and Stephen A. Hairline were on a broadcast together. But Joe essentially felt scorned that Stephen A. was even allowed to have an opinion, especially when Stephen A. not only has an opinion, but he's very opinionated. So it gets people who are experienced, like Joe the Toe Rogan. Yes, he's never fought before, but he spent a lot of time around the sport. He does BJJ, he does kickboxing, etc., etc. That gives you a right to commentate, because you're involved in it to a high level. Stephen A. got these bigger, strong opinions, but you don't even do it. You don't even participate in the sports. So obviously, Joe Rogan and Stephen A. Smith started clashing. Not blatantly, but it was visible that Joe was kind of punking Stephen A. and calling him out indirectly on his comments. In a way, Joe the Toe Rogan was almost sunning Stephen A. and exposing the fact that, listen, you're not really a mixed martial arts commentator. And Joe Rogan was making that clear, like pointing out little things that Stephen A. was saying wrong or whatever, indirectly, etc., etc. So that's where the beef come from. Now again, Stephen A. is used to running things at ESPN or wherever he's at, Fox or whatever. Let me give you an example. Stephen A. Smith actually kicked Max, what's the guy's name? Max something. Stephen A. and Max had a show for years. Yeah, and Max started getting all of the athletes like Max. Stephen A. is seen as a bit of a coon, yeah? He's seen like a bit of a housenick. That's just what it is. All the athletes like Max, and they don't like the housenick Stephen A. Yeah, bottom line. So anyway, Stephen A. leveraged his power at ESPN to get rid of Max. Now the reason I tell you that is to tell you that, like I said, Stephen A is used to having a lot of power. He's not used to people checking him and exposing him like Joe Rogan did. Especially not on the broadcast. So afterwards, Stephen A went behind the scenes, the same way he went behind the scenes with Max. Because Stephen A. Smith didn't tell Max to his face, listen Max, I don't like how it's going at the moment. I'm not rating your performance. I'm going to try and get rid of you. No, Stephen A, like a true house Nick, was all grinning teeth and smiling at Max in his face, but behind the scenes, he was slagging Max off and trying to get rid of him. Like a real snake, yeah? Snaky Nick, 100%. Yeah, but anyway, like I said, the reason I tell you that is because it shows the kind of man Stephen A is. He won't stick it on you. Listen, Stephen A, you could have stuck it on Joe Rogan. Anyway, 2-2s. In the last few days, this comment is leaked. Now, a lot of the video footage of Joe punking Stephen A has come out on the kind of broadcast, and obviously Stephen A feeling butthurt now. He feeling like his manhood's been pressed. Also, there's a lot of footage at the moment going around of Stephen A boxing, and he can't box a lick, so like I said, Stephen A's ego is feeling hurt right now. So he's come out and clapped back and said, listen, essentially, even though the video shows I've got no boxing skills, let me be clear, if my right hand connects with the legend Joe Rogan, all due respect, he's getting knocked out, people. Oh my god. Honestly, Joe Rogan would knock this guy. Listen, Joe Rogan would knock this guy. Listen, Joe Rogan would knock the last of this Don's hairline right off. Yeah? Listen, Stephen A. You need to be grateful for the wig you've got left. I'll tell you what you don't want to do. The last thing you want right now, yeah, is to talk your way into getting the last bit of your wig knocked off. Yeah, because your man Joe Rogan will push the last piece of your wig right off the crown of your bonds. Do you understand? Yeah? You ain't... Listen, Stephen A. You're not that guy. You don't have enough hairline left, trust me. Certain dons can afford to talk. You know what I mean? Some dons can afford to talk the hardest. You ain't one of them. You don't have enough wig left. Joe Rogan will surely push the last of it right off your bonds. Yeah, that little patchy bit you got on the top, get pushed off, and your hairline will be sitting back on will be sitting down at the base of your neck. That's where it will be, 100%. Because Joe Rogan, not only is he good at fighting, he's also juiced out of his mind as well. Joe Rogan, Dana White, all them ones there, they're juiced off their head. They love the juices. So a Juicy Joe, you got no chance. He'd literally kick your head off, never mind your wig. In fact, scrap the wig. Joe Rogan would genuinely kick Stephen A's fragile old head off. No doubt about it. I don't even really like Joe like that because I think he sold out. Joe for me sold out. Joe the Toe Rogan sold out. He sold out all the conspiracy dons. And he went, what's the word? He went Hollywood, yeah? Joe the Toe Rogan went Hollywood. Simple as that. Yeah, he stays sucking off all the cabal. So, it is what it is. But anyway, this was funny. Stephen A, you silly, you playing right now. If my right hand connects, let me be clear. If my right hand connects with the legend Joe Rogan, all due respect, he's getting knocked out, people. I've heard it all now. Listen, I've heard it all. Oh man, but this shows you as well. This reminds me a bit like the man who pressed Mike Tyson the other day on the plane. This is what happened, you see. And there's a same as Skip Bayless. Although Skip Bayless has a bit more respect because he ain't called out no one before, but Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless, none of them ever started on any sports team ever. Do you understand? But yet they have the most opinions. It's super odd, yeah. But this is where they thrive. They thrive in woofing because that's their only talent, is having a big mouth. When it came to delivering, they've never been able to deliver. Yeah, and that's all Stephen A can do is woof. And again, he woofing now. Because listen, Stephen A could have, behind the scenes, approached Joe and said, listen, Joe, I didn't appreciate the way you were sunning me on the broadcast. Let's get some rounds in quick. And then, if Joe Rogan says no, fair enough. Come out and say, listen, I didn't appreciate the way he was sunning me on the air. Afterwards, I offered him, I invited him to get some work in, to get some rounds in. He said no. So on that basis, I want the world to know that, listen, let me be clear. Joe knows if my right hand connects, with all due respect, he gonna get knocked out. That's why he didn't want no work. Oops, yeah, that's what he could have done. He ain't do that. He say nothing. And then when he behind the keyboard, he woofing now. Scary ass. Yeah, scary ass wannabe hairline. No doubt about it.